Before I begin, I'd like to add a disclaimer that, first of all, I'm not gay, okay? Or at least, I'm not openly bi or gay. I'm straight. Moreover, if you're not in the appropriate age, I advise viewer discretion. Or not, it's up to you. I said this because we all know what the stuff I'm going to discuss right now is about, right? Like erotic art or something like that. And it is up to us how we interact with this. And thus, I proclaim my case on how my studying music theory and FL Studio packages opened my mind to appreciate videos of macho men. So it was around 2020, somewhere from March to the end of 2020. I was like the sort of nerd in class. I was usually into video games while most of my classmates were not. And one of the interests that I had, which was far from mainstream in our place, was Team Fortress 2. It's like a first-person shooter game where all the playable characters are guys. And then I eventually went in this indie game named Toho Project. It's like a shoot 'em up where like all the playable characters and enemies are women. So, anyways, I discovered them to YouTube. So I can't really recall the exact videos that I was usually watching back then, like in 2020. The videos that were my first exposure, but I do recall this funny video that shaped what my interests would be, and eventually my appreciation for gorn. So it was a highly edited videos, and each soundbite of some white guy's voice was pitched to the tune of some funky electronic song about this can of soda that drives him active. I don't know, I can't really remember. So think of this. If you were on my shoes, you were from a protective religious family that was full of four stanza rock songs of the same 30-minute format and whatever radio drama, talk show, rom-com, spicy affair drama on TV is, which is really boring. And then while you were either in school or at home, you just opened YouTube and then you saw a cool and then a 3D animated figure on a blue background that was like dancing, and then you don't know this word that's titled Bonkomiru. It's like Bonkumiru, and then when you try to click that video, because you have zero idea what it is, right? You would be surprised. Your expectations would break when you hear that video, because when you click that video, it's full of electronic music. You had no idea what it is. It's like, wow, you don't know what you're listening to, but it's so coherent and well made as a piece of music or a soundtrack. That thing broke every expectation I have of what music could be and what the internet could be. So anyways, I was really intrigued, and I thought it was the cool stuff for nerds. I don't know. Anyways, it was the cool stuff that I wanted as someone who would rather spend his time on Reddit instead of Facebook. And then I eventually watched more of these music videos. Oh yeah, I'm sorry for cussing. Okay, which I eventually known as YouTube poops or shitposts. It's like it's just made for the love of the game, just made for laughs, music videos and remixes. And it was also through listening or watching these YouTube videos that went me to this music collective. It's called it's pronounced as Siivagunner, but it's spelled as Siivagunner. It's basically a music collective where they remix or replicate soundtracks of video games or popular songs, and they add another melody in the soundtrack. Or basically, they usually do mashups of different songs by either manipulating the instrumentals themselves or adding an audio file or something. Anyways, I hope you get the point. And I eventually learned that you can make songs or remixes for them. That is, you can create the very remixes you've been enjoying for everyone to see. And you can just send it as simply as an email. You can just submit your remixes just through email and just wait for feedback until it gets approved. Which is really cool to me. And then so I tried it. But the thing is, you really needed adequate music theory knowledge, and you have to know how to use digital audio software or a DAW. And the thing is, my family has never had any interest in doing music or creating music or any music theory, and I have never downloaded a DAW, that's Digital Audio Workstation, even Audacity. And so, during early to late 2020s and sometime until the end of pandemic, I would try to create these remixes and learn by myself. And it was actually a very slow learning curve, okay? It was a very painful, slow learning curve, but still I managed to get some remixes into the channel. Some of the questions that you have to know is, for example, like, which keys are Necrophantasia in? Or what options do I have to pitch down an a cappella to make my match up on key? And that simple question, you have to know a lot of things, such as which software gives the cleanest instrumental or a cappella? Which package gives you the sounds that are most accurate to the original soundtrack you're replicating? You get the point. As long as you can make the remixes good to the ear. And with those remixes, usually add memes to them, or meme songs that would get famous, get trendy, and you try to add it as a remix or a cover to the video game soundtracks. And one of those memes that the YouTube channel siivagunner would use was gachimuchi. I was too young to see gachimuchi in its prime. Like, I think it was maybe 2000s to early 2010s. I don't really know. I'm sure it's around that era. I know you guys. Anyways, for those of you who don't know what gachimuchi is, it's like a subculture that features muscular guys wrestling each other, moaning loudly. And then one of the most famous ones is, I haven't verified the title, but I think you can say it's King of the Locker Room, where it's like, the premise is, they have two buff dudes on a locker room, they go on a fight, and then the main thing is they just wrestle each other in a locker room with pain involved. So, let me remember the scene. So, there's two guys, right? There's one buff guy sitting just with tongues on the locker room, and then there's a guy, also a buff guy, with the leather thingies. Anyways, it's just for the bondage leather thing. He walks in, and then I think the other guy sitting says something like, "Leather club's 2 blocks down there." It's basically insulted him, and the guy in the leathers cusses at him, saying "F you." And then they eventually get really aggressive, like, "Oh, I'm gonna threaten you, I'm gonna punch you," and they push each other, and then they just clap each other. Oh, no, not clap each other. They just start wrestling each other, and they groan loudly. That's one of the videos that I like the most. And it's used as a meme in these remixes where they use the moans and slaps. And one example is this girly pop song for the game named Mermaid Girl. It's like about a mermaid girl who wants to be with someone or something. And then what this remix does is they pitched all the moans of these buff men and their aggressive dialogue to the song. And it was like the song that I listened to back in 2020. It's like Bonku Miru. I mean, I understand if it's not your type of music, because it's really, I think, overstimulating compared to slow classical R&B music. But personally, I was amazed when I heard the remix. And then that eventually led me to watching or checking out more videos of men in thongs slapping each other while wrestling. Speaking of gay men, I swear I have evidence that I did not edge to them. I just watched them doing things. I was just appreciating them. I was just looking at my laptop. I was just watching them like a movie. I did not interact with them in a way that I want to be in that situation, but I just appreciated it, right? So all of this discussion, all of this context explains why music theory and studying how to recreate music in my crack FL Studio program introduced me to a subculture of homoerotica. I mean, I also had exposure to similar things before gachimuchi. I really like this old video of a guy with the American flag bandana and the American flag thong. He's only wearing those, really dancing smoothly. And of course, that was pretty unique or shocking to me at first, but the exposure to these guys and mainly the factors outside that's an entire remix thing in the gachimuchi thing, maybe experience the human experience. You know that, like, it gave me an opportunity to discover or harness. It also gave me an opportunity to harness my skills or interests aside from experiencing the fleeting now. And also, we people have the ability to create art of meaningful work, and invalidating someone just because of who they love or what they were doing there, I don't think it's not valid for me. But the point is, the man who never tastes grapes says sour or something like that. That's the point of my discussion board. I just wanna express my love for gachimuchi and my interest in music. And I think that's about it formally. But before you comment in your minds or in the YouTube video, I just wanna testify. I state my case. I'm straight, okay? I may have downloaded video edits of the TF2 characters in compromising situations, or watched complete episodes of Dog Hunters, but again, I interact to them in a way that I do not pretend to be in that situation. That's all. I like and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.